RemanX here, and I wanted to kind of go through a couple of things with this Scourge. Obviously, it's broken beyond reason, and it's terrible because ultimately it took kind of a high point where people were excited about getting this character, pursuing the leaderboards with these broken Scourges that remained untested. It frustrated a lot of people, and so now we're delayed on the actual leaderboards. All that being said, it's important to try to make sure if you can get a 4-star from this event that you're able to, and we're going to highlight kind of the packs, and I want to thank Chat Mitsukazi who brought it to my attention here. We definitely went through this yesterday in some details and some depth. We're going to talk about why this set of Scourges may be the best for you to accomplish your tasks. So this number right here with the 90 packs actually means you don't have to do node 10. So we're going to highlight that in a second here to go over all the packs that you need to get this done. I'll probably put it in the comments section once enough of the video in here. We'll highlight this so you guys take a look at the comments. It should be in the comments at the end of the video. All right. So Avenging X Factor, very little impact overall on the fight. Biocharged. So this is the one that's broken. Now, I want to warn you that this is one where you can potentially take it off a little bit and try to do node 10 if you wanted to. This gives you multiple turns with your bio characters. Now, characters that really work from this are like Red Hulk or specifically Masters of Evil. So because it works with Titania and Moonstone, it's the one that a lot of people are selecting. So the question is, how big are your Titania and Moonstone? Because it can be a little bit of trouble when you do these Scourges on difficulty 8 if you're not targeting correctly. So I just want to highlight that. If you're struggling with this, let us know in the comments. We'll try to walk you through. I'm going to be doing that on stream the next couple of days here to try to make sure people can get us the best result from the Scourges. All that being said, that's where you're getting the multiple turns with your bio characters, right? So turning this one on means that you're likely getting up to 4 turns from Titania and Moonstone. Now, if you don't get the to go first, and let's say on the second node or second or third node, I'm trying to think in my head. Quake goes before you and wipes your team. Just obviously restart to get the RNG, where you get the multiple turns. Now, the crit chance is almost essential, I think, for actually enhancing these characters to get their full abilities. We're gonna talk about that in a second because the one where the safeguard, the bio armor, is an option as well, but it is not necessary if you want to skip node 10. Now, in addition to this one, the Master of the Spider-Verse, all helpful. You can see with the bonus traits when you add some different members on the team. Turning off on the offensive, you don't want the offensive team to get enemy team to get offense up. It's really harmful to you. Snake Eyes, again, we went through that one. Supernova, now this is a key here. Now, I'm going to say this one because Supernova is going to be a differentiator when we move from the leaderboards move to the actual leaderboard version of this event. The strikers on certain characters, specifically a character like Moonstone, may be essential to help them get the barrier and survive, especially if you have a smaller one. But more importantly, to get some additional energy so she's able to stun more targets over the effectiveness of her turns. So this is going to be probably something where be prepared for the leaderboard to get higher score, but it's actually helpful potentially if your Moonstone is dying from the bio Scourges, trials as they're called now, you may want to switch that on. Now, Warp World, again, some people like Warp World, some people don't. On difficulty 8, it's going to be a challenge for power level of certain characters. And the reason why this could be a problem is because you're basically you're counting on always keeping a character below that 50% threshold and then flipping your negative effects to positive effects, or more importantly, on that bio node, taking a character down and flipping those offense down and those defense or offense up and defense up on the echoes. So it's definitely something that you can play with and turn on or off if you're struggling. It's got to come down to the size of your Masters of Evil. So what I found is that no person actually has the exact same roster, unless you've got full 7-star, full G17, and full ISO 5. Then nobody I've seen has that, and they're not having a problem with this one if they're on the Warp World, right? So just be careful. This one is one that you can turn off, especially because it's really hard to keep debuffs on characters to make sure you're adequately controlling them. In fact, I don't recommend this with a smaller roster, specifically smaller Masters of Evil. And so, you can see that we've gone through here, and you can see that just these characters here with the Echo retaliate on this one. It's a little bit more difficult. And this is the one that's challenging players early. There's a lot of different characters to choose from. And I'm going to say this. We're probably beyond the point where I recommend building your roster too much for a 4-star unlock. If you're not able to do it because of a star level difference, I don't know that spending gold is going to be worthwhile to push it. Now, that's going to be an individual decision, gold and or training match and or resources, because realistically the leaderboards are going to make up for some of that. Now, all of that being said, you don't have to do with the ones we just described on difficulty 8. You don't have to do the last node to get the score. So I think there's some value in all of this. You can see how when you start this, the bio numbers here. Some people bring their Masters of Evil early on to get some cooldowns up. I don't think you need to. I think you just have some fun with your bio characters. Maybe load some of the characters you're going to use on the additional nodes for the city hero. You probably want to start here and load some of those characters up. So somebody like Symbiote Spider-Man, which has been kind of resurrected with his ability to extend debuffs. Characters like 2099. Again, he starts with his ult, but he also can be helpful. You can mix and match them early on here, and then Red Hulk can pretty much do all the heavy lifting. As you don't get a turn afterwards. And then the Masters of Evil. Again, this is the one where people are struggling because it's really designed to hard gate whether or not you built up your Masters of Evil. So what happens is Quake may get a turn before your team. So you're probably restarting a few times, and then your size of your Moonstone and your Titania will come into effect if they're able to go first, or they're retaliating. And so let's just do this really quickly. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. We'll do a quick run here and just go right to this node, because I've got I think I want to say I've got a 4-star on both of them, a 4-star on Moonstone, 5-star on Titania. And Moonstone often can get targeted and almost pushed, which is why I turned off the warp Scourge trial. I'm not going to get used to that. I'm never going to get used to that. So, the point about this is, if it runs like we saw the Scourges run from MILF, etc., then you probably are well okay to kind of take the runs and move on. So pushing to a 4-star may not be worth it if you're free to play. You can definitely overinvest in this with this time period. So this is the key, right? So this is the one where warp, some people like it. I personally don't like it. Now I use my Moonstone and my Titania here. You can use pretty much anyone. Quicksilver's helpful. Some people use Longshot and Shatterstar here for the bonus to crit and crit damage. I'm just trying to get through this as quickly as possible and retain the cooldowns when I'm done. And this is where potentially, if you're struggling, having the striker on Moonstone with the number of turns she's going to get, and specifically only because this is currently broken. You can see that we took multiple turns over here. So we could take the offense. So see, they're actually not doing that much damage. And you can see how many turns you're just taking, right? Again, you'll see if your team is struggling with this. It's going to be based on the star level of Titania Moonstone. If you're struggling, it's because they're lower. Again, bringing them up may not be a good option. Remember, these are level 90. I want to say my Moonstone is 4-star. just double checking really quickly. And you'll see that, again, right, her ability to stun characters. Oh, I did get her to 5-star. I was able to get her 5-star. Okay, so she is 5-star. So you can see it's literally, if you try to do this on difficulty 9, this is the actual node that's holding a lot of people back based on the star level of their characters. Anyway, well worth it to try to get the 4-star if you can. You make the decision with your own personal resource if you think it's worth the gold to get them up there. But overall, I think it's an individual decision that players should make. Anyway, just want to get this out there. Relatively short recording here. Hopefully you guys got a quick idea of what we're talking about. And good luck. Let me know how you do in the comments. Again, I'm frustrated. This is, if this is the content that shouldn't be bugged and have these issues, but it continuously to be this way. I'm glad they shut off the leaderboards to a certain degree, but it is frustrating for people who put time, effort, or spent money to upgrade characters to do this already. See you again soon.